What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about these images we got for The Walking Dead Season 9 mid-season finale. I wasn't going to make a video on this, but then I was looking at him and something crossed my mind, so I want to talk about it in this video today. But I'm just recording my screen, so I apologize if this video isn't as organized as usual. I mean, none of my videos are organized, who am I kidding? But anyways, let's get started. So I want to talk about Henry because we got these kids in these images, and as we know, Henry is taking Carl's storyline. That's obvious. If you didn't know for sure, this is a photo of him, learning to be a blacksmith. That's exactly what Carl did in the comics. That's obvious. But I want to talk about these three kids right here because I'm gonna get a little bit into the comics. Nothing too major or anything. You don't have to worry about spoilers like anybody dying or anything. But just up to the part where Lydia and Carl meet, because I do think they're gonna set that up in this episode, because we have kids here. So in the comics, Sophia, who isn't on the show anymore, and Carl, who isn't on the show anymore, they're having lunch, right? And then a couple kids, I think it's like two boys or something, it could be these two guys right here, they come up and start bothering Sophia, and Carl beats him up and then gets sent to a cell at the hilltop. And then later on, when they're, this is around the same part the show is in, they're building up the Whisperers slowly, they meet Lydia, and Lydia is a Whisperer, a young Whisperer, so they bring her back to the hilltop, and they throw her in the cell also, because they want to, interrogate her and ask her questions about what the hell is going on. So both Carl and Lydia, they're in the, where they keep the prisoners, and they start I don't know why I'm talking like they're both in some like national security jail, like they're just in a small prison. But both of them, they meet, and Carl helps her escape, and that's ultimately what leads them to, become close and start liking each other. But that's what I think they're building in this episode, because there's another image right here of Henry just eating by himself. So he might not be eating with anybody, he just might be eating with himself. I was thinking Enid, but Enid is in her early 20s, so she's not going to be there. Or she is going to be there. I mean, actually, she might not be there, because I was thinking about this also. I haven't seen any images of Enid after the time jump. So if they don't show Enid in this episode, and I could have missed an image or something, but I haven't seen any. If they don't show Enid in this image, she probably is off with Maggie, and I don't know why nobody's really talking about that, but that is a possibility now that I think about it. Enid and Maggie are really close, so if anything, Enid probably went off with Maggie. That is if they don't show her in this episode. But here we have Henry eating by himself, so obviously he's having a tough time at the hilltop, having some trouble, and you know how kids are. Kids are mean to each other and stuff. And there's also like 3 images of these kids in the stills we got, so obviously there's gonna have a lot of focus in this episode. And there's one image right here of them in the dark, so they're definitely up to no good. And that's what I mean when I say I think they're going to remix this with Carl's storyline from the comics. So these kids are probably going to do something messed up or bother Henry. Henry's probably going to mess him up, or yeah, he's probably going to beat him up or something, and then get sent to, the cell. And then also, the reason I think they're setting up the Lydia storyline is because somebody was spying on them, that we saw in episode 7. Somebody was spying on Michonne and Magnus' group while they're going to the hilltop. So they're relatively close to the hilltop. So whoever was spying on them, I feel like it is Lydia, because who else would it be? Like, it seems like it's a major Whisperer, because it looked like it was only one person spying on them, and Lydia is connected to the hilltop, and the place they were is relatively close to the hilltop. So I do think what's happening here, or what I think is going to happen here, is Rosita's going to wake up and tell them about the Whisperers, and Eugene is hurt. Daryl and the group isn't back because it's dark, and they're probably going to be worried, so they're going to send out a group. They're going to run into Lydia, capture her, bring her back to Hilltop, put her in the cell, just like in the comics. They're gonna put her in the cell, and then that's what's gonna blossom, the Henry and Lydia relationship that we get from the comics. I feel like some people might be upset about this, that Henry is taking Carl's storyline. I mean, I don't really mind it that much. I mean, the kid Henry, Matt Lintz, he's doing a good job. I'm liking him so far. I mean, he there's not much for him. He's just talking to Daryl and Carol. There's not much going on for him. So once we get this, it's gonna be like his first major plot. Him and Lydia, and I want to see that. Then I'll judge whether I like it or not. But it would have been nice to have Carl there, and maybe having lunch with like Enid or something, and just making it casual. I don't know, but we still don't know how it's gonna happen, but that's what I think is gonna happen. And having these remixes could possibly be a good thing also, so we're gonna have to wait and see. And then a couple other things I want to talk about in this in this stills we got a really good shot of Negan here, and he's just sitting on this box or something, talking to somebody, and he looks pretty happy. You know, he looks like he's looking at somebody. But we have another image of Father Gabriel here, and he's obviously down there where the cell is. So I also think they're gonna be building up Negan's escape, because Negan does escape around the time the Whisperers show up. So I don't know if it's going to be in this episode or next episode, maybe a cliffhanger or something. I see some people saying they hope Negan escapes like a cliffhanger. I don't think that's going to be that big of a cliffhanger, because honestly, I don't really give a shit about Negan right now. I want the Whispers. I want a really cool Whisper reveal at the end of episode 8. I don't care if Negan escapes or what. Don't leave that as a cliffhanger. That's not going to be that interesting. Because we all know he's gonna escape, you know. There's no reason they're gonna keep him in jail for 6 years in the show timeline and then he's gonna die or something. We all know he's gonna escape. I don't think it's gonna be that good of a cliffhanger. But I do think Father Gabriel, I'm interested, because, you know, Father Gabriel and Negan, they were close last season too. Remember, Negan captured him, or not really captured him. Gabriel kind of got himself stuck at the sanctuary. So they did have a connection there. You know, Gabriel is, you know, he trusts people, he wants to help people, he's friendly, he's rational. So, and Negan also wants to talk to somebody, so maybe that's why he's happy. But I do think in this episode they're gonna set up, you know, Negan's escape. And I don't know if Gabriel is going to be part of that, because they're not in any trouble or anything just yet that, you know, he would go to Negan for help. That would be like completely crazy. But what I think could have happened is maybe Gabriel like drops a key or forgets the key or something, or forgets to lock the door or something like that. Just like when Daryl was, you know, he was captured at the sanctuary, somebody left the door open for him. It was Dwight, or no, it wasn't Dwight, it was Sherry, that I think about it. But that was intentional. Maybe it happens on accident here. Gabriel forgets to lock the door, because that did happen in the comics too. Somebody forgets to lock the door. But the big question is if Negan is gonna obey the rules and be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in here, I'm gonna do what I'm told, or I'm gonna escape. Since we're this late into the season, well, not really late into the season, but we're this far into the season, I do think Negan is gonna escape. I don't think he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay back and, you know, respect, you know, their rules. No, I don't think Negan's gonna do that. He's probably gonna escape. But those are pretty much the only big stills that I want to talk about. Nothing crazy. But I just quickly wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it, and I want to hear from you guys too. So I just love talking about The Walking Dead, so I have no clue if this video is pointless or what, but I want to talk about these still. So I'd love to hear from you. What are you most excited for? What do you want to see in this episode? Do you think you know, are you liking, you know, Henry taking Carl's storyline, or are you not liking it? What do you think? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. For daily Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.